Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
I am that dude, Bodkins.
Yeah, DP lost like, beef. Yeah.
Right, where he's wondering he's like, I
Patty to patty.
One style, like no weight classes.
Yeah, basically, like I said, there's been a couple guys that are like,
It's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy.
That's just not my mentality, bro. Like,
yeah. Leave the ladder down. That's my always like, hey, somebody helped you out. Why not help somebody else out? Return.
Give a big round of applause for the one and only Bodkins Show.
Or bringing Craig Counsell down the interstate in a move unexpected. I had people.
I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another great episode of the Bodkins Show. I am your host, Bodkins. It feels good to be back. We missed last week. I was officiating my cousin's wedding. It was a beautiful ceremony. And I'll tell you what, it was awesome. So I didn't really want to do a show last week because I was driving. I didn't really catch a lot of the games. Plus, once we got home, I was just absolutely dog tired. No Johnny Cruz tonight. It's his son's birthday. His youngest boy's birthday turned 19 today, he said. So we gave him the night off. Decided that, hey, I'll just do a solo show for the simple fact that we didn't do week 3, so we had the bye week. And didn't want to miss 2 straight weeks of kind of catching up with you. Yeah, Scott, offense it was galore today. We'll get into it. I think he said Kansas City, no Rice. We'll get into that one too in a little bit. Man, there's been some surprise teams where back when we had 16 weeks, you break it down in 4 quarters, this would be the first quarter of the season would be over. So we're close to first quarter, which is wild. I feel like half the league. I don't really feel like there's a team out there where I know there's a couple of undefeateds and a couple went down today. Like we're like, that's the best team through the first 4 weeks. Maybe Minnesota. What they did, they came into Green Bay today. First half really put it on them. The Panthers aren't the worst team in the league right now. I wouldn't think. There's been some surprise teams. There's some teams that I thought were going to be good that are absolute dog shit. Cleveland, the Commanders. I think the Commanders look the best team in the NFC East. What Jaden Daniels is doing, that team is cooking. Cliff Kingsbury, he wasn't the greatest head coach, but man, he is killing it as a play caller here in Washington. We know he's calling the plays, but I don't know if their head coach Quinn, who's been around some people, can help them dial in a little bit better. But what they're doing there is incredible. They look like the best team in the NFC East by far. We'll get into some other of these games. Let's go ahead and we'll jump right into it, and we'll have share some thoughts here. Oh, let me get into share screen here. Oh, add to the stage. Did it add? I don't know. There it goes. All right, so we got the first game. Like I said, Bengals win the Andy Dalton revenge game. They win 34-24. They finally get their first win of the season. Joe Burrow, 2 touchdowns, 1 bad interception that almost they were trying to could have put the game away. Just couldn't do it off the interception. Gave the Panthers some life. If you're looking at fantasy, it's a 50-50 backfield there in Cincinnati. Chase Brown continues to impress. He had 15 for 82 touchdowns. I've said all along, I think he's the better of the running backs. He's the more explosive one. I think he fits better with what they're trying to do. Zach Moss, 15 for 51. Jamar Chase, 3 for 85 and a touchdown. T. Higgins, 6 for 60. So the Bengals offense puts up some points. Defense does okay. You get to Andy Dalton, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 220 yards. The one interception kind of hurts you. Chuba Hubbard, 18 carries for 104 yards and a touchdown. Deontay Johnson, 7 for 83 and a touchdown. Xavier Legette, 6 for 66 and a touchdown. Looks like he could be a factor going as Thielen. This Panthers team, the first 2 weeks looked like maybe the worst team in the league. Last 2 weeks, like they lost today, but they put up a good fight. Like that's a good fight. I don't know if it was all on Bryce. I don't want to say it's all on Bryce here, but like it right now it looks like it's all on Bryce. Like their team looks vastly improved after from week 2 to week 3 and 4. So there's that. This game right here, this might have been the early kind of game of the day. None other than the Saints and the Falcons. The Saints, 24-26. It was a back-and-forth game. Young Hoku kicks a nice big boot, 58-yarder to win this game, 26-24 for Atlanta. Both teams 2-2. I feel like every team in the NFL right now is 2-2, damn near. It's wild. I don't know if we'll ever see these teams that make these deep undefeated runs like we used to. I believe every team has a win now. So, oh no, I guess the Jacksonville, they don't have a win yet. They're they're 0-4. But back to this game here. Saints win 24-26, or Falcons win 24-26. Derek Carr 26-36, 239 yards, 1 interception. Alvin Kamara 19 for 77 and a touchdown. Taysom Hill had 6 carries for 24 and 2 touchdowns. He got banged up. Chris Olave 8 for 87. Rashid Rashidi 8 for 83. And then you look at the Falcons, Kirk Cousins. They didn't score an offensive touchdown in this game, still found a way to win. I mean, they're finding ways to win. 21-35, 238 yards, 1 interception. Tyler Algier, 8 for 60. Bijan, 7 for 28. Drake London had 6 catches there today. So Falcons find a way to win in a absolute wild game. They find the way to win. Where were we at here? Oh, we got Texans winning a close one here. Jaguars, man, I feel like other than the Bills game, let's see, they were in the Dolphins game, had to lead in the Dolphins game. Not too sure. I can't remember who they played week 2. I felt like that was another game that they should have had. And then obviously they got beat down by the Bills on Monday night. They had this game. They were winning this whole game, till the last, 30 seconds, Texans score the game-winning touchdown, 24 to win 24-20 on a final drive. Trevor Lawrence, 18 to 33, only 169 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. But man, like, just where's the yardage at? Where's the balls downfield? It just has not been there. Him and Doug Peterson has not been the pairing that we thought. Tank Bigsby 7 for 90. ETN 11 for 50. Brian Thomas Jr. continues to impress, 6 for 86 and a touchdown. Christian Kirk 7 for 61. You look at the Texans. I don't want to say I've been disappointed in the Texans. They're 3-1, but they just haven't looked quite as good as I thought they would be. I thought they could be like just kind of be able to blow teams out, and they haven't quite figured that part out yet. CJ Stroud, 27 to 40, 345 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cam Akers, 13 for 53. No Joe Mixon in this game. Nico Collins leads the league in receptions and yards, 12 for 151 and a touchdown. So he continues to have his stellar season. Stephon Diggs, 5 for 69. So the Texans find a way to win. Again, good teams are finding a way to win. They get to 3-1. Jags fall to 0-4. I don't want to say I'm disappointed because you are kind of what your record says you are, and you're 3-1. It means you're a good football team. But man, I just thought they have not looked good in their wins. Like they find ways to win, and I guess good teams find a ways to win. And we'll get to a team that found another way to win. Who would have thought the Jets, after they just went in, they beat down the Patriots last Thursday, have a bunch of time off, and then they can't even score an offensive touchdown here. They lose 10-9. This is the first time Aaron Rodgers has not thrown a touchdown in a loss. That's wild to say. But the Broncos win 10-9. This was supposed to be the Hackett revenge game Well, that didn't happen. 12 for 25, 60 yards, 1 touchdown for Bo Nix. Nothing there. Javonte Williams, 16 for 77. Cortland Sutton, 30 for 60 and a touchdown. The Jets offense, nowhere to be found. It was kind of rainy there, so I don't know if that played a part, and Aaron just did not feel like himself or look like himself. Kudos to the Broncos defense. You're not going to win very many games when Breece Hall's only got 10 carries for 4 yards. The Jets aren't. I don't care who you are. He's got to get the ball. Braylon Allen had 8 for 34. The Jets probably looking around saying our game plan stunk. We stunk. The offensive line was awful. Jets lose here and fall to 2-2. Broncos surprisingly 2-2. Many people had them. Tanner had them being just absolute dog shit, and they're not too bad. They're playing good. They're not beating the brakes off of people, but they're finding ways to win these last 2 games. So after starting 0-2, the Broncos win 2-0 the last 2. So they get to 2-2, and the Jets are just up and down. I'm not going to panic on the Jets. It's up and down, and we'll get the Bills play here in a little bit. If the Bills could rattle off another win and get to 4-0, you're 2 games up. You'll take that. We get to the Vikings-Packers game. This game, Vikings jumped out to a huge lead. It's 28-0. Packers battled back to make this a game. The second half, they only gave up 3 points. Jordan Love, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I thought watching that game, obviously as a Packers fan, he looked like a player that hadn't played a lot and was playing hurt, was playing injured. A lot. He couldn't throw. The balls were low. I felt like he wasn't as accurate. Obviously, the mobility wasn't there, but found, I was happy they dug in and they could have packed this game up and got their ass beat and called it good. But they battled back and made it a game. They made it a game. Obviously, it was skewed. They couldn't run the ball because you're behind. They got behind early. Jaden Reed, 7 for 139 and a touchdown. Datavion Wicks, 5 for 78 and 2 touchdowns. Tucker Kraft, 6 for 53 and a touchdown. You look at the Vikings, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold might be MVP through the first quarter of the season. 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. What he has done has been impressive. And I don't know. You could say either the Vikings or the Commanders are the most impressive, surprising teams. They have 1 loss between the 2 of them. But Sam Darnold, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Aaron Jones, 222 for 93. Didn't get in the end zone. Justin Jefferson, there was no Jair Alexander for the Packers, so you knew it was going to be a long day. He had a good day. 6 for 85 and a touchdown. Jordan Addison, 3 for 72 and a touchdown. Minnesota stays undefeated. It's wild how good they are. Good. KOC has got this team humming. They might be the best team in the NFC. They might be the best team in the NFL right now. Sam Darnold, what do you do what do those Vikings do? He's on a 1-year deal. What if he wins MVP? What if this is the year that Sam Darnold puts it all together and they win the fucking Super Bowl or something? I know it's crazy to think of that right now. But what would they do at quarterback? You got to bring him back. It would be insane not to, right? Like the way he's playing. Kudos to the Vikings. The Colts and the Steelers here. Steelers lose their first game 24-27 to the Colts. This game, Justin Fields, 22 of 34, 312 yards passing, 1 touchdown. He also ran for 2 touchdowns. 7 for 113 for George Pickens. He had a game. Pat Fairmouth, 5 for 57 and a touchdown. Steelers were down in this game. They battled back. Fields made some good plays with his legs and with the arm, obviously, getting over 300 yards passing. But to fall short here to the Colts. This makes no sense here. Anthony Richardson comes in, he's starting. He gets hurt. He's out for like a play or two. Comes back in. First play, they run him. He's out again with a hip injury. Joe Flacco comes in, 16 for 26, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, 21 of 88 and a touchdown. Michael Pittman Jr., welcome to the 2024-2025 NFL season. 6 receptions for 113 yards. Josh Downs, 8 for 82 and a touchdown. So some good. The Colts looked well. They played really well. They're now 2-2. What are they 2-2? I feel like half this league. I just feel it's like 2-2. Steelers get their first loss of the year. Did the Colts move 2-2? Yeah, I thought so. And Steelers get their first loss, to fall to 3-1. Woo! Bears Rams here. Bears get to 2-2. Rams fall to 1-3. They are depleted with a bunch of injuries. Man, it's crazy to think that the Bears are 500 and they haven't even played that great of football. But they're finding ways to win. They beat the Rams today in a close game. Matthew Stafford 20 and 29, 224 yards. Kyron Williams 19 for 94 and a touchdown. They just don't have the weapons right now for the Rams. You can see the just depleted, but Tutu Atwell had 4 for 82. You get to the Bears. Caleb finally throws a touchdown here, still under 200 yards passing, 17 and 23, 157 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Swift, welcome to the 2024-2025 NFL season. 16 for 93 and a touchdown. Roshan had 7 for 26 and a touchdown. Swift also caught 7 balls, so he had a huge day fantasy-wise. I know if you're a Swift owner, you're saying it's about damn time because he had not had the great year in the first 3 weeks of the season. Oh, yeah, Craig, I agree. KOC has revived Darnold. I don't know if he's revived him. He's brought him to the league. Like, how can he be revived if you were already dead? I guess you was never living in the NFL. Bears defense keeps them in every game. I think so far, you're right, Craig. Like, that's the Bears' MO. That's their franchise MO. Right now. So they're playing to be 2-2. I mean, we're 2-2. Minnesota's 4-0. We're already 2 games. We're 3 games, really, if you think about it. The Packers are behind Minnesota. So, but hey, we'll see what happens down the road here. Lions play tomorrow night. So, we got, what's the next one game? Oh, we got Bucks Eagles. The Bucks were all over the Eagles from the jump street. The Eagles, I think they had like 0 offensive yards, and after the first quarter. And the Bucks, Baker Mayfield, we'll get to the Bucks here. 347 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think the most thing to take out of this game is what Tom Brady shared. And if you missed it, I'm gonna pull that up here. What Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield. All right, here we go. This is so earlier on a podcast. Baker said the Bucks told him to be himself, have fun, because the people were stressed out when Tom created that environment when he was there. So Tom responds to today. This is his direct quote during the game that he's calling. I thought stressful was not having a Super Bowl rings. There was a mindset of a champion. I took to work every day. This wasn't daycare. If I wanted to have fun, I was going to go to Disneyland with my kids. There was a way to approach this game. It's with the right mindset to push each other outside our comfort zone. Great teammates do that. So he kind of called Baker out as far as a teammate. They're 2 different types of people, obviously, and Baker probably shouldn't have said nothing. We're talking about the GOAT. He knows what it takes to win 7 freaking Super Bowls. Baker has not won anything yet. So personally, I got to side with the GOAT here. But, man, for him to call him out, I like it. Spicy Tom, on the telecast. So he obviously feels like he could probably go down there and do just as good, if not win, with that Tampa team. You know, a lot of those guys are still there. We get to the Eagles side here. Absolutely nothing. Jalen Hurts, man, he has just been stinkfest McGee. 18 to 30, 158 yards, 1 touchdown. Saquon, 10 to 84. Dallas Goedert led the way, receiving 7 for 62. Obviously, the receiving core here for the Eagles was depleted. No Brown and no Smith. So we got get into the afternoon games here. Bears, 49ers, Patriots. 49ers 30 to 13. 49ers get to 2-2. Pats fall to 1-3 here. This game was over. This was my survivor pick'em. It was never really close. Brock Purdy, 15 to 27, 288 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jordan Mason, 24 of 123 and 1 touchdown. Heck of a game from him. George Kittle caught the touchdown. Deebo Samuel, 3 for 58. Brandon Ayuk only had 2 catches. This game was it was never really close. And you look at the Patriots stat line here. It's not like anybody did anything. Jacoby Brissett, 19 to 32, 168 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Ramondre had 13 for 43. So, that game wasn't even there's not even close there. 49ers roll. I think that's what kind of everybody had. We get into this one here. This was the surprise team. I keep saying this. The Commanders, 3-1, 42 to 14. Their offense is cooking. 233 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for Jaden Daniels. Brian Robinson Jr., 21 of 101 yards, 1 touchdown. Jeremy McNichols, 8 for 68 and 2 touchdowns. Jaden Daniels also ran in for a touchdown. Terry McLaurin, 7 for 52 and a touchdown. He's starting to get that cooking going with Daniels. They're getting on the same page. Kyler Murray, 16 to 22, 142 yards and only 1 touchdown. Against his former coach. James Conner, 18, 104 yards and a touchdown. But the Commanders absolutely just rolled over the Cardinals. I'll say it again. I said at the top that the Commanders are the best team in the NFC East at 3-1. They look like the best team, like week in and week out. And this kid Daniels looks like a legit dude. He's the Heisman Trophy. The Commanders look like they hit a home run here with him as their quarterback. Yeah, I'm high on them right now, very high. Let's get into a team I've not been high on. The Chiefs, very good. Every week they're in these close games. They find ways to win, and they're 4-0, 17 to 10. But would you tell me that the Chiefs look like the best team in the NFL? I know they're the defending champs. I know they're the defending champs, and they're 4-0. But every game it's just like a struggle with them. But yet they find ways to win. Uh-oh. There we go. Patrick Mahomes, 19 to 29, 245 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Kareem Hunt, 14 or 69. It looks like Steele is done as their main guy. He fumbled. He only had 2 carries. Travis Kelce, welcome to the season, 7 for 89. Xavier Worthy, 3 for 73. Most importantly, though, the star wideout Rashee Rice looks to have torn his ACL, so he is done for the year. Justin Herbert is 60 and 27, 179 yards, 1 touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 14 to 32. There's not much there. Ladd McConkey made a hell of a catch. It was a hell of a throw for the touchdown, 5 for 67 and a touchdown. But the Chiefs get to 4-0. Chargers fall to 2-2. In a game that was kind of the Chargers could have won that game. It was another close game, and the Chiefs just find ways to win, leaning on that defense. Mahomes has not looked great. Their offense hasn't looked great. It's continuing to sputter. Speaking of not looking great, that's the Cleveland Browns. I'm so disappointed in the Cleveland Browns. I thought they could win this division. They're 1-3. They're 16. They lose here today, 16 to 20 to the Raiders. Get to 2-2. Deshaun Watson, 24-32, 176 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jerome Ford, 10 for 58. Jerry Jeudy had a nice game, 6 for 72. Amari Cooper, 4 for 35. You get to the Raiders here. Gardner Minshew, 14 for 24, 130 yards, 5 carries for 60. For Alexander Madison, Zamir White, 17 for 50. Jacoby Myers had 5 for 49. Brock Bowers, come on, man, come back to life. As soon as I get you on my fantasy team, Brock Bowers starts shitting the bed. Should have known better. Should have fucking known better. That's it. That's all the games. Let's go ahead. We'll give out my man. There's some good dogs. There's some good dogs on this week. I've been thinking about it, but we'll give out our turd first. My big old turd. Oops. For week 4 is none other than I'm going to give it out to Deshaun Watson. This team looked better when Joe Flacco was at the helm last year. He has not done anything. 176 yards, 1 interception today. That team looks lost. They stink. This is a team that made the playoffs last year, had high hopes to make the playoffs this year. Deshaun Watson, my NFL Week 4 turd of the week. I've gone back and forth, but when you've seen ghosts in life and you've been booted out and teams wrote you off and you come back and in the first 4 weeks you look like an MVP, my NFL dog of the week is none other than Sam Darnold, baby. Sam absolutely has been killing it with the Vikings. His stat line today, 20 of 28, 275 yards, 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdowns. He's got the Vikings looking like the best team in the league. Sam Darnold is my NFL Week 4 dog of the week. Craig says his turd is Hurts. Hey, that's a good turd. I mean, I can't fault you for that. He could have been right up there too. He's been disappointing. Watson's been all these quarterbacks that they gave all this money to have been disappointing. I mean, Jordan Love's been hurt, but man, he didn't look great today, and I get that. But Watson, big money. He has not looked good. Trevor Lawrence has not looked good. Tua's not even on the field right now. Who else? Herbert hasn't looked great. He's been banged up. Love's been banged up. The Cowboys aren't right. They're not the world often beating everybody, but they did win the other night, but they don't look that great. Like, this is why I said, if I'm an NFL team and I'm negotiating, and your quarterback says, hey, I want a contract extension. Yeah. How many Super Bowls you got? You got as many as Patrick Mahomes? No. Okay. Then your contract's got to be lesser than that. But yet these teams aren't negotiating that way because that, to me, that's the standard, is winning. And he's the top of the line. So it should be him every time. I know he hasn't played that great this year yet, but they find ways to win. Yeah, it was going to be him or Jaden Daniels for what he's been doing the last couple weeks. So, Baker too. So Baker has come out and said that they took his comments out of context, I'm sure, but ain't no taking context out of Tom Brady. He was about that life. Well, folks, this has been another great episode of the Bodkins Show. Quick 30-minute show for y'all tonight as we cruise through the reactions. We got good Sunday night game going on. We got Bills, Ravens, and then we also got tomorrow. What we got going on tomorrow real quick? I know it's Titans and Bills, or Titans and not the Bills, Titans and Dolphins on Monday night, and Seahawks and Lions. So 2 more games tomorrow night. I would like to see throw that Seahawks Lions game. That should have been one of them games. Should have been like the 4:00 game. Can we get another 4:00 game going instead of 2 Monday night games? That's just me. Nonetheless, folks, that does conclude the this NFL Week 4 reaction show, the Bodkins Show. Please do check out the Morning Dump. Johnny was there for that one, and we absolutely crushed it. A lot of fun. We talk a little bit about everything. Talked a lot about college football, the Georgia game. We talked to the MLB playoffs, WNBA playoffs, and much more. So please, check that one out that we put out this morning. Be a friend, tell a friend, folks. We'll be back this time next week, 7 o'clock Central, 8 Eastern for Week 5 NFL reactions and more. Be a friend, tell a friend. We'll see you then. I'm going to hit that outro.